one day, one summer, when I was in the backyard and I was probably with Linda Chinchetti and we were probably doing something we were not supposed to be doing, and I was maybe 9 or 11 or something, and Mr. Verjone came to my house.
My name is David Kadeski. I am a writer and performer.
My name is Naomi Ashley. I'm a musician and songwriter.
We're raising funds for our upcoming project, True Life Tales from the Honeymoon capital of the world, some of which are true.
Which is a blue-collar Gothic spoken word folk opera.
Mr. Verjone delivered the mail. In a room off the playroom in the Verjone's house, there were circulars and samples and coupons and the sort of mail that goes directly into the garbage can in many, many houses. I would peek into this room whenever I went to the basement of the Verjone house to spend time in the Verjone girls' playroom, judging by the stacks of these circulars, samples, and coupons. It is fairly obvious that Mr. Verjone didn't always deliver all of the mail, all of the time.
The stories are based on my life growing up in Niagara Falls. The stories are actually true, for the most part. The not so true part of it is that memory is somewhat fallible, so there are things that are added, things that didn't happen in the same order, things that are made up of whole cloth.
No.
Yes, it's true.
Linda had a walleye, and we hear her tell it was because she had spinal meningitis when she was a baby, and she had to be put on ice because her fever was so high or she would have burned right up. She said she had to have 20 operations on her eyes, and every time the doctors would take her eyes right out of their sockets and put them on her chest. She said she could still see out of her eyes, even when they weren't in her head.
We met, through mutual friends, performer friends.
Mutual artists, friends, singer friends, theater friends.
When I was in college in Kankakee, Illinois, we would drive to Chicago and see Too Much Light Makes a Baby Go Blind, which was quite scandalous for us at the time. And I would see this guy performing, and he was one of my favorite performers. So to actually get to meet him when I was moved to Chicago was a big deal for me.
And I made it a big deal for Naomi. We met again at a cabaret that we
both performed
we were both
at.
performing at, and I fell in love with her songwriting, and
Take my hand, you won't regret it. It'll be us.
over the years we sort of talked about
Maybe collaborating on something.
maybe doing something together.
And about in 2007, I was performing a series of shows at Uncommon Ground, and I asked David to open for me with some spoken word stuff. And he said, well, why don't we use this as a point of collaboration?
Yeah.
And then that's where we started collaborating on his Niagara Falls stories.
At Fantasy Island, I worked 9 hours a day, 6 days a week for one lazy, hot summer. In a bear costume.
And we performed at the Green Mill for the Uptown Poetry Slam, the Uncommon Ground,
The
and
Hideout.
at the Hideout, and part of the Encyclopedia show.
Right.
And but then we decided to get down and get serious
Yeah.
about actually writing the show, True Life Tales from the Honeymoon capital of the world, some of which are true.
So we performed together different pieces throughout the years. We performed at the Uncommon Ground, we performed at the Hideout, more concert venues. And now
What we will be doing is taking these stories and these songs and putting them together in a larger package. Not necessarily just song, story, but a more seamless opera.
Right, and we're performing it at the Stage 773 on Belmont Avenue. We've signed the contract.
And we'll be performing the show in October. Of course, every production comes with costs. Publicity, rent, musicians.
Sets, advertising, tech, personnel.
With arts funding being reduced,
We really hope that you will consider making a contribution to this project. Thank you.
thank you very much.
Thanks.